Hold on, we're waiting on this. You got it?
Yeah, it's got black.
It's okay.
Okay.
All right. Anyway, some of you know that a lot of you are my friends or have known me for quite a while. Some of you don't. Have just learned to know me since January and know that the ones that know me well know that when I do something, I like to put my heart into it.
Sure do.
My whole heart. And I've tried to do that in my weight loss journeys also. This is my third time of coming back to TOPS. The first time I joined TOPS was in 1985, at which time I lost 85 pounds. Went on a cruise to the Bahamas. That is not a good reward for losing weight, is to go on a cruise, because you eat and you eat. And every corner you turn, there's food on that ship. They feed you well. So that wasn't a good reward for losing my 85 pounds the first time. After that cruise, came back, and I didn't put my heart into it. I quit coming to TOPS. After returning home from the cruise, my husband in that January, he got hurt. He got hurt bad. He's gone through 3 back surgeries, and so I was the only one working as a hairdresser, which was just starting out. I didn't have a good clientele. So then and trying to raise 3 teenagers and 1 being pregnant. All the bills were getting behind. I knew I had to do something to try and support my family with a regular income. So I decided to put my heart into it. And I stepped up to the plate to help my family. Except all the stressors and disappointments during this time caused me to step up to the wrong plate. Food became like a medication. It became my comfort. I went on to receive my nursing degree. I went back to school after my children were grown. It was certainly not easy going back to school after 22 years, but I was determined to put my heart into it. And I studied. I still had to work. I worked all night at the hospital, 11 to 7. I got off that morning. I went to Lowndes Middle School. I worked as a cashier. I went home in the evenings to cook for my family, take care of my children, to only get 3, maybe 4 hours of sleep sometimes before I had to go to school in the evenings, to nursing school. Very little sleep did I get attending night classes. This went on for 4 agonizing years. I took it hour by hour. Sometimes it was less than that, but I put my heart into it. All I did was eat, sleep, work, and cry. That's what I've done for 4 agonizing years. Hold on one second. I forgot something. I will control my emotions, and not let my emotions control me. Okay, seems like there was always time for crying, but certainly not time for eating healthy, because I was eating on the run all the time, fast foods. My stress levels were higher than my cholesterol and fat contents in all the junk food that I was eating on the run. Even one time going to Valdosta State University, I had to take biology classes. And I mean, that semester, I didn't sleep hardly any. I would go to the library at the Valdosta State University Library. And I had a backpack. And in my backpack was a little fold-up alarm clock. I know y'all seen them. They're little brown. And you push it down and it folds up. And I took that alarm clock. And I took a little pillow in my backpack. And in the library was a room that you could go in and study by yourself. Carpeted, you shut the door, you could lock the door. That's where I slept and set my little clock. But I put my heart into it because I knew that I had to take care of my family. I knew that job had to be completed in order for us to survive. There was no time for exercising. failed a class. Then my friend gave me a negative free zone sign, just like this. We had a study group. That's when I failed that class, I came back. I had to set out a whole year. That's how ABAC nursing program was. You had to sit out a whole year before you came back. So when I came back, I had 3 friends, 3 lady friends, and we got a study group together, and she gave me this sign because she knew I had failed. And she said, Patsy, never think negative. Always keep a positive attitude, positive in everything you do. Whether it's weight loss, whether you're determined to finish school, to support your family, whatever it is, I want you to hang this in your room. Well, I did. I hung it in. I made copies. I hung one in my car. I hung one in every room in my house. And I was determined to put my heart into it. I not only passed RN school, but I passed with flying colors. My weight loss was not even a priority during that time, and I ballooned to 260 pounds. Then a trip to visit my daughter in England, to visit my oldest grandson had already been born when they got transferred to England. My youngest grandson was born that July the 1st, and we flew to England.
You can do it. You can do it.
It's okay, Patsy.
When I had to step on the plane and couldn't fasten my seatbelt and had to ask for a seatbelt extender. So if that plane crashed, I might live. Well, honey, that seatbelt ain't going to hold you in there, and you don't if that plane crashed. But that was the most embarrassing moment of my life. And also, when I had to sit in the middle, there was only 3 seats. And I was in the middle, and my husband was by the window, and there was a man on the end. That was his seat. And every time I asked him, could I get up and go to the bathroom, of course, I get this disgusting look, like almost, I call it bullying. That's what I call it. Making fun and rolling his eyes. So I stood up 5 hours of a 9-hour flight to London, England, so I wouldn't keep interrupting this man. Came back home, and I went into congestive heart failure. I knew then I had to put my heart into it. I had to do something about my weight, or I was going to die. I mean, my legs were swollen when we got back off that trip, and I couldn't breathe, and my lungs went in the hospital, and it was a very scary time. I had been throwing my heart into everything I did for my family, but not doing what I needed to do for myself. So after the trip to the hospital, I then realized it was time to do something. TOPS, I knew, was the answer because I'd done it before. So I came back to TOPS the second time. In August 1999, a lifetime of overeating, yo-yo dieting, I weighed in at 255.5 pounds. I knew then I had to put my heart into it to gain a healthy heart. I replaced this sign in every room of my house. Didn't put one in my car, but I replaced the sign, and I kept a positive attitude, and I done it. But I want Debbie or Shirley, can you pass them out? And everybody pass one. I want you to have one and take it home. And there's a cute little thing on the back of it as well. And I encourage you to keep a negative free zone in your life. Always think positive, because when you can think positive about things, you can accomplish those goals and challenges. I gave up 1,400 calories of Coke a day. That was a day. Walked 5 miles every morning, every evening. Every morning I got off at 7 o'clock at South Georgia Medical Center. I walked 5 miles, went home. When I slept, When I got up that evening, I walked 5 miles every day. I started eating healthy. I became a TOPS officer. My hats go off to the officers. And if you've never been one, you ought to step up to the plate, to the good plate, because it encourages you. It encourages me to know when I help others. Sending cards to one another, the encouragement you get here. I think this week I got 4 cards in the mail, really sweet cards, and I got one from my secret pal. The other, so it's not all about your secret pal. Help one another. When you hear somebody's had a bad week, send them a card, pick up the phone, give them a phone call, encourage them, support them. That's what we're here for. I met lots of friends that encouraged and supported me and started believing in myself. It was helping me to help others. I lost 110 pounds, became the chapter queen, and I also became the Georgia State Queen. Because I put my heart into it. I won a trip to Seattle, Washington that following year and represented the state of Georgia. The Greatest Improvement Award the next year, won a trip to Colorado Springs. If you will, I want you to pass these little booklets around. We'll pass one on that side. This is a good magazine, guys. This will keep you thinking positive. You read some of the stories in here. That year the theme was, what was it? There's a butterfly in the front of that book. What did I say it was, Becky?
I forgot.
Shirley, look in the front of that book. There's like a butterfly, and it was the theme the year I became the leader. See right there?
Catch the top spirit.
Catch the top spirit. Does anybody remember that? I remember that little bitty butterfly. And that year I became a queen. I went and got me a tattoo of that little butterfly. He looks just like that. I can't show you where it is, but I got one. So here's another magazine. This is the IRD, and the IRD was in Seattle. Let's see, I'm representing the state of Georgia. That book. Here, Daniel, pass this around. Here's one of my before pictures of my husband and I when we went to England at the top, and the one at the bottom. Here's one more. You can flip that to the other side and let them pass that around. Thank you. Then more stressors took over once again in August 2002. I was in a motor vehicle accident. Had 14 surgeries on my right arm. Then again, meds, food, eat, sleep, cry. That's all I did. Once again, to quit TOPS. I took down that negative free sign zone, and that's all it took. I'm now back for the 3rd time, January the 2nd. Because I want to put my whole heart into it. I want you to do the same. I challenge you to do that. That sign is now hanging on my refrigerator. It's not in every room of my house. My house is not very big any longer. And I weighed in the most I ever weighed, 264 pounds, January the 2nd.
Well, you look good.
I've now lost 22 3/4 pounds. I want to continue to put my whole heart into it. I know that TOPS saved my life then, before, and I can do it again.
Yes, you
Yep.
can.
The only thing I regret is I waited so long to put my heart back into it. I know with the support and encouragement from all of you here, I will stay positive, helping others. That helps me. Eating sensibly. I've had a couple people ask me, what's my meals a week? What do I eat? If you'll pass these on the side. I started Thursday night, I think it was. Last Thursday morning, I've been keeping a food diary, but I typed up only from last Thursday till this week. So you can just kind of see. Just wanted to share that with you. Things I've done to help along the way is I sing this on something, I don't know. This, oh, wait a minute. Something happened. Something happened. Okay, we'll just say that that's 22 3/4 pounds lost. And this is the pounds to go. So this sits in my living room, because my living room and my kitchen and everything's in one big room. So this sits in there, and every Thursday night I get home, I can take one because I only lost 1 3/4 pounds. So next week I'm gonna be able to put that in there because I put my heart into it. And look, these are little hearts. Anyway, hey, let's give away this raffle ticket.
Okay, yes.
Let somebody draw a name. I was also in Dr. Rankin, wrote a book, Howard Rankin, during that time, page 220. If you'd like to have a copy of my story, it's in here. I'll be happy to run you off one. If y'all remember Karen Dixon, Dr. Rankin wrote another book, The Top's Way to Weight Loss. And then if anybody wants to borrow it from me, I have that as well.
Karen in that one?
Karen is in that one. And she was in the year after I did. I know we have another contest going on, but I thought I'd do this kind of for heart, since it's Heart Month. It's a contest, and it's like bingo, and it has little stickers. I gave you some stickers, but if you don't have enough, just color it in or draw a little heart in there. But once you get, it's actually the one that fills in the whole card gets a gift and a charm. But every time somebody bingos, I have some heart charms that are Top's heart charms. One's Love Can Build a Bridge, it's heart. But every time, the first person each week, if you filled in and made a bingo, let me know and we'll give you charms that week. A charm that week. But overall, whoever fills in the whole card first gets a gift and charm. So we'll pass those out. Like I say, if you don't have enough stickers, just color the hearts in. Daniel, you want to get that side?
Okay, that's your original.
You know, Patsy, while they're doing that, I just want to say there are several of us in here that we are your alumni, but you helped us. And we really appreciate you.
Thank you. So I want to challenge each and every one of you to put your whole heart into it. Not just by eating sensibly, but everything you do. Put your whole heart into it. Here's a little saying. This is by Vivian Baxter. Life is going to give you just what you put into it. Put your whole heart into everything you do.
That's right.
So I want y'all to all have one of this too. Does anybody have any questions? We have a lucky winner. Drum roll. I can't play the drums either. The last three numbers, 092.
Guess who?
Yay!
Billy Peggy drew it, not Shirley. Thank you. No,
No, okay.
no. Well, let's give her a standing. Y'all want to stand in ovation with her anyway. Thank you, Dr. Dawson, for sharing that with us. And many of us were there with her when she went through that, the wreck she was in and had the traumatic experience. And we all know how much pain